point. And so many messages coming in and all sorts of different channels, including LinkedIn for our next interview. EAND, the company formerly known as Etisalat, moved at the end of last week quietly into the grocery game. They will now deliver your bananas as well as providing you with telco services. Very pleased to be joined now by Antonio Ricciardi, who is the Senior Vice President for Consumer Intelligence and Engagement at Etisalat by EAND. Thanks very much for joining us, Antonio.
Good morning.
Why are you doing this?
So it's quite rare, you're right, and there are very few such examples, and definitely here in the region is the first of its kind. However, it's kind of logical for Etisalat UAE as being part of EAND. Our position is no longer the one of a telecom player. We are more like a technology and an investment group. And hence, investing in our strengthening our homegrown marketplace and loyalty platform Smiles, which made perfect sense.
So you acquired the e-grocery company eGrocer back in November last year. Is what you have added to your Smiles app just their offering under another name, or have you improved it or changed it?
It's their offering. So the service on Smiles app is powered by eGrocer. I mean, by doing so, we have access to a fantastic network of 500 retailers, and obviously we enjoy a great deal of expertise and skill set. So it's very much powered by eGrocer.
So they're doing it. It's their stuff. It's their delivery network, I'm presuming.
Is their delivery correct?
Why you, though? What can you bring to this, I would say, almost saturated space? You park these days outside a supermarket and there's 3 bikes in front of you. What can you add to this? What can you bring that isn't already there?
Yeah. So the affiliation with the food as a broad category has been always very strong for the Smiles app. So from the very beginning, we had hundreds, now thousands of buy one, get one deals for dining out. And then there were a lot of demands for 100% online offers. So we introduced a service like food delivery at the beginning of last year. And now we are adding grocery. Obviously, there are a lot of, common aspects across these ones. And for our users, the benefit is that, there is the currency of happiness, Smiles Points, which is available broadly across all of this. So even now when you're doing your grocery, you can actually earn and reward Smiles Points. And on top of that, we have propositions like unlimited free delivery, which we are looking at soon opening up also for grocery. So it will not only serve you when you're ordering your meals, but also when you're ordering your grocery.
Is it free delivery at the moment?
At the moment, it's free for on meals ordering. So for our food delivery, for grocery, it's work in progress.
So how much is the charge at the moment for grocery delivery?
It varies from retailer to retailer. There are retailers which are not charging anything. Some of them are charging 5, 7, 9, depends from place to place.
Right. So your USP, what you're saying is it's the points you can earn. Because this is a busy space, and I'm going to be honest, I don't automatically think of Smiles or of Etisalat when I think of grocery. You've got players who've got a real first mover and brand advantage here. We know their apps, we see the bikes, we see the branding on the roads. How are you going to take their user base and get people to use you for grocery?
Yeah, good question. At the moment, we have approximately 8,000 merchants connected to 3 million users on the Smiles app. So this app has been launched back in 2017, and it's open to everyone here in the UAE who has a valid mobile number. And it spans from a lot of categories, from dining to entertainment to grocery to shopping. So for us, it's very much educating our existing base that there are a lot of more things that they can do through our app. So that's our main focus. And obviously, for those who are already on the app, and it's a pretty large base, it's good news to know that now also for something as magnetic as grocery, they can also earn and reward points on top of getting great deals.
But how do you change people's habits? How do you get them to open your app rather than the app they're already used to opening?
Well, it's at the end, this is a very busy space, as you rightly said. And I think what you need to provide is a great network. You need to provide fast delivery, not necessarily the fastest delivery. And for someone who is already in the system, and we have 3 million or so members, the fact that now they can earn and reward points also on something which is very common as grocery shopping, it's definitely an added value that they cannot avail on other platforms. And those points can be used across a number of categories.
As people make less phone calls, less mobile voice calls, virtually no landline calls, do telcos need to find new revenue streams? Do you have to do this?
Absolutely. I think, if you look about 10 years ago, the telecom service is at like 50% mind share. When it comes to consumers nowadays, those services have a very small mind share. So the name of the game is diversification. That's why at the end, we are focusing on shifting from being a traditional telecom player to becoming a technology and an investment group. So our portfolio is much more diversified. And a platform like that provides loyalty and marketplace definitely taps into many moments of consumer lifestyle. And that's it's important to regain that ownership of the consumer.
How big a part of Etisalat or Ian's business could this be percentage-wise, delivering stuff?
Well, it's definitely growing very fast. It's very significant. It's one of those that has, if you look at it a few years ago, it was in this deceptive kind of growth stage. So it was growing very fast, but still very small in the scale of things. However, at this point in time, we're pretty sizable. And this, as we progress, definitely the telecom space will only account maybe for a large share, but not, I would say, the lion's share of the business.
Give me an idea quickly.
There are if you look at benchmarks, for example, there are companies in other regions which have done particularly well. This could account for 15-20% of the...
The delivery could?
Yeah. The digital services in general could account for about 15-20% of the overall, top line of the company.
Sorry, so are you saying these new services, these new areas could be 15 to 20?
Yes.
Because if I look at your app, you've got everything from maid services to laundry to, as you say, the food stuff. Very quickly, I've got a producer in my ear. What else could you add to this? Are you trying to be a super app? What's still to come?
So we are a multi-category app. So we are adding these magnets, which are bringing in a lot of new repeat users, like food delivery, grocery, and there is a few more which are lined up. And then we have a long list of other services. So our name of the game is... to get 1% better at educating our customer that there is much more that they can do on that particular app. And that's, I think, what you'll see in the near future.
Antonio Ricciardi, Senior Vice President of Consumer Intelligence and Engagement at Etisalat by E. And in the studio, because at the end of last week, very quietly, they became a grocery delivery company, folding Algrocer, which they had brought back in November into their Smiles app. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.